So Matt Duchene has finally been traded. Like I said in previous videos, it was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen, but this is a blockbuster trade, and hopefully it is the first of many. So the Ottawa Senators traded away Matt Duchene and Julius Bergman in exchange for Vitaly Abramov, Jonathan Davidson, a 2019 first-round pick, and a future first-rounder. They get that on a condition if Matt Duchene does re-sign with the Columbus Blue Jackets. First off, taking a look at what the Ottawa Senators got back for Matt Duchene, and remember, they traded a lot away, to get Matt Duchene, so it's nice to see them get a pretty decent package in return. That 2019 first-round pick is huge. Now they do have a first-round pick in this up-and-coming draft, and obviously the big piece is Vitaly Abramov, who's a pretty solid prospect. He played for the Cleveland Monsters this year in the American Hockey League, 52 games played, 12 goals, 10 assists for 22 points. He's a -3, but he's only 20 years old, and this was his first real pro season. He was a third-round pick, 65th overall in the 2016 draft, and it's looking like he's going to become a pretty solid offensive NHL player, so that's nice to see them get a pretty high-tier prospect in return, along with a first-round draft pick, and potentially another first-round draft pick if Matt Duchene does re-sign with the Blue Jackets. So I'm sure Ottawa fans and the organization are really hoping Matt Duchene likes it there, and Matt Duchene did say he's excited about the trade, and it looks like Columbus is really going all in this year to try to make a push in the Eastern Conference, which is going to be pretty hard to do because there's a lot of powerhouses out there, but I like that Columbus is being aggressive and getting some help for guys like Panarin and Dubois. In the deal, the Ottawa Senators also got prospect Jonathan Davidson. He's a 21-year-old. He was a 6th-round pick, 170th overall in the 2017 NHL entry draft. He's a winger who's been playing over in Sweden over the past couple of seasons. He's putting up some pretty decent numbers, 35 games played, 10 goals, 10 assists for 20 points. Not quite sure what his prospect ceiling is. I've never really heard about him or really knew who he was. So, just another prospect to throw in, and you can never have, enough prospects. All of them could potentially become NHL players. So all in all, I really do like the return that the Ottawa Senators got for Matt Duchene, and obviously it's not as much as they had to give away when they initially brought him in, but they had to make this deal happen. They weren't doing anything, they weren't making a push for the postseason, and I think it's only a matter of time, and maybe today or in the next couple of days we will see Mark Stone traded, and I'm pretty sure that will be a much bigger return for the Ottawa Senators than what they got for Matt Duchene. So now taking a look at it from the standpoint of the Columbus Blue Jackets, they gave up a lot to bring in Matt Duchene, who could potentially only end up to be here for the second half of the season, which is a pretty big risk, but this is a team who's always been in contention for the playoffs, but just never really able to get over the hump or really do any significant damage when they get there. They're currently sitting 1 point out of the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. They do have 2 games in hand over the Carolina Hurricanes, though, and I definitely think with the addition of Matt Duchene, Columbus definitely should be a playoff team, and like I said previously in the video, I honestly think this could influence Panarin to stay. If him and Matt Duchene both agree that let's stay here in Columbus, we have something positive going, and we can really make some damage in the Eastern Conference, because they have young defensemen like Werenski and Jones. I think a big factor is going to be Sergei Bobrovsky, though, because when he's on his game, when he's invested and he's healthy, I think he's one of the top goaltenders in the entire NHL, and there's been a lot of drama with him over the past couple of months and just over the entire year in Columbus, whether he wants to leave, whether he wants to be traded, and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I do like this trade from the Columbus Blue Jackets because it shows your fans that you are being aggressive, you want to make the postseason, and you're not just gonna, ride with what you got because that really isn't good enough, and it hasn't been good enough over the past couple of seasons. Matt Duchene really is going to bring a lot to this team. I'm not quite sure if he's going to play on that first line center spot, and play with Panarin, if Dubois is going to stay there, but either way, if you have Matt Duchene on your second line, that's an upgrade from what you previously had, and if you have to bump Dubois down to the second line and put Matt Duchene on the first line, that's still an upgrade. It just increases the depth chart, and it just gives you that much more offensive firepower because Matt Duchene is having a career season, 50 games played, 27 goals and 31 assists for 58 points, and he was only a -2 on a pretty awful Ottawa Senators team. So I think Columbus Blue Jackets fans really should be excited with this trade. Obviously, it'll be a little concerning if he doesn't re-sign because you gave up a lot to bring him in, but it is going to be worth it if this team can do some damage in the postseason, but they still have to make it there first. So all in all, I really do like the trade from both sides. I like that Ottawa is really focusing on going the direction that they should be, not trying to stay competitive, but rebuilding, stocking up the prospects and draft picks. I think that's really a smart move. So that is going to wrap up the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and make sure to let me know down in the comment section how you feel about this trade, especially if you're a fan of the Ottawa Senators or the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm very curious to hear your guys' thoughts. So with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like like on it, and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.